Hello, Patreon peeps. It's Jen from It's So Hard, the podcast all about life in and around the sex industry. Thank you for joining our Patreon and supporting the podcast. We greatly appreciate your love and support, and we love that we can redirect your support to our fabulous industry guests who come and give their time and expertise. Now, it's Friday, which means that it's Patreon content day. And I thought it would only be appropriate that I honour Tess and Frankie, our amazing Frankie Fatal, who both had a big giggle about Civvy content on social media. So they both had a giggle about the wholesomeness of Civvy's posting food pics, food prep pics, food prep videos, and kind of boasting of their cooking skills. And so I thought, let's do a Civvy content series. And one of our Civvy content series will be cooking with Jen, because I love to cook and my family do a family dinner every Friday and I always have to cook something for it. So I thought I would welcome you into my kitchen and you can cook along with me if you're into that kind of thing. I'm not great at cooking, I just really enjoy it. And so I thought I'd welcome you in. Today's recipe is a very, very delicious sweet potato and chorizo soup. It's got a little chili in it. It's got a nice little bite to it, but it's super creamy. And it's perfect because it is fucking freezing where I live. So it's perfect for a freezing day. So come on in. Alrighty. So in making this very delicious soup, these are the ingredients that I'm using. And I'm going to do a 1.5 times the recipe for my family. So just take a third of this off if you're just doing the standard recipe. So I've got 3 red onions, 3 beautiful carrots, not all of that garlic, but I think like 3 or 4 cloves, though I always use extra. 1.2 kilos of sweet potato, 3 green capsicum, 3 litres of chicken stock. You can use the powder, but I always like the liquid. Some curry powder, chorizo, and then, excuse my messy kitchen, you're going to want some chili powder, salt, and pepper. All right, so I've done my food prep because that would be boring for you to all watch. So I'm just going to show you. Can you see? Oh, so beautiful and colorful. So in this one we have our garlic, our green peppers, red onion, chorizo, and carrots. And then in this bowl, we have our beautiful sweet potato. We've got our stock ready and our spices, etc. So we start with a decent sized saucepan because we're going to be putting quite a bit of stock in it. So we need it to be a decent deep saucepan. And we pop in there a bit of olive oil to start. Yeah. I think this works. All right. So we turn on our stove. And you turn your stove on to like a medium low to start off with the oil in the pot. So that oil's heated up nicely. You can see that it is nice and thin. So we're going to chuck in our giant bowl of beautifully chopped vegetables and the chorizo and the garlic. So basically the only thing that we're not putting in the pot right now is our chicken stock, our salt and pepper, and our sweet potatoes. They'll go in a minute. We gently put these in here. Ooh. Sizzle, sizzle. Okay. We give them a bit of a quick stir. Okay. Ooh. I'll show you. Oh my God, I can smell that beautiful chorizo already. It smells so good. And then we're also going to put in here, so the veg, with the exception of the sweet potato and the chorizo, have gone in. And then we put
1.5 teaspoons. I'm using half a teaspoon here. So 3 of these half teaspoons, or just 1.5 teaspoons of curry powder. I always put a bit extra because you can't go wrong with a bit of extra flavour. And then chili powder. Again, they ask for 1.5 teaspoons. I struggle with chili powder because for me, chili powder just feels like it doesn't really have a taste. It just feels, or to me, it tastes like just spicy, burning my tongue. Whereas I prefer like a cayenne pepper, which while it is spicy, doesn't have, like it has a strong flavour to it in the way that I don't think chili powder is. So when a recipe asks for chili powder, I always put a bit less in because that's just my preference. Sorry to my family, they just have to eat things the way that I like them when I make them. So you give a big mix of all these beautiful veggies with the curry powder and the chili powder and the oil and the chorizo. And then I'm going to turn my stovetop up kind of to like a medium heat because these need to just cook away like that for about 10 minutes because they're going to start to soften and all the juices are going to start to come out. So I'm going to put 10 minutes on the timer. Okay, so that's 10 minutes done on the timer. I wish there was a way I could transmit the smell of this to you, but there is not. It smells really good and we're starting to see the liquids and all that flavour come out of our veg and the chorizo. Smell that garlic. My glasses are fogging. That's always a good sign in the kitchen. Okay, so our next step is to crack in salt and pepper. I always like to do a generous amount, but not too much because people have different preferences about salt and pepper. I can always put some in once you serve, so don't go too nuts. Oh. Lost a piece of chorizo. Okay, so salt and pepper's in. Now we're going to put in our hero ingredient, sweet potato. So tip that all into, oh motherfucker, that's hot as fuck. Tip that all into the pan and stir it throughout the veg as it's cooked down. Oh my god, it just looks more and more colourful. I love it. Okay, can you see that? Beautiful. Now this is how professional I am. I am using my spice rack and a bottle of olive oil to hold my camera in place. Très professional. Alright, so that's given a mix through, and now it's just time to add in 3 litres of stock. 3 litres feels like a lot, but it will reduce down. And this is the kind of soup that you then blend at the end. So it's not like all these ingredients will just kind of be suspended in a very thin stock. The stock will blend down, the veg will all soften over the next little while it cooks in the stock. And then once it's cooled a little, we'll put it into a blender. Makes it nice and smooth. No comment on those sounds. So giving that a stir through. So just one more of the stock. I'll just do half of one of this stock actually. Good thing with stock is that it is already flavoursome, so it's not going to take away from the flavour of the other ingredients in the soup. It's just going to bring it out more and add to it. Okay, so giving it a stir through, and I'm going to turn my stove up to sort of a bit higher because this is now going to cook, boil away, softening up all the veggies, particularly that sweet potato, for about, the recipe says 15 minutes. That seems a little short to me, so I will keep you posted. Alrighty, so we're back. The veg and the soup and the stock have all cooked down, and then we've had to leave it to cool for a little bit. And now comes the noisy / messy part, which is where we blend our beautiful soup. So I'm going to get started. Blender. Yep. So what I do is ladle in very carefully our ingredients into the blender. And I try and do equal parts spoons of veg with then a spoonful of liquid. So we're trying to get it to blend as evenly as possible. Now this soup is still pretty hot. It has been actually cooling for about half an hour, 45 minutes. Because you cannot put it straight into a blender as soon as you turn the stove off, otherwise you're going to melt the shit out of your blender and ruin your soup. So, continue to put those through there. Nice and carefully. Alright, probably another ladle of liquid and one more of veg. Let's move my cooling soup down. Bring my blender into process. Now, very important, lid on. And this little cappy thing in, otherwise you got shit going everywhere. So lid locked on, locked in. This will be the noisy bit. I will fast forward. Okay, so as you can see, that's now blended up into a beautiful smooth liquid. Steam coming out of there. Getting ready for this. I pour it back into the saucepan that it was all cooking in because it's then easier to heat up again on the stove. Ready? Ooh. Wow. Beautiful. Okay. And we'll do this last third. Let's see if this works without being a total disaster. Oh, it's a disaster. All right. It was worth a shot. Oh, motherfucker. It's hot as fuck. Alrighty. Okay, I can potentially do it now that there's less in here. There we go. Not a disaster. Okay. Okay. So this is the final third of the soup, which I'm pouring back. Ooh. Oh my God. It looks and smells incredible. So, oh my goodness, look at that beautiful, beautiful creamy soup. Divine. So in serving it up, just looking at the final look. I like a nice wide bowl for a bowl of soup. Wide or deep? God, that's what they all say. Okay, so I'm going to serve up a couple of beautiful labels. Oh, that colour looks awesome. Yum. And then if you like, it depends on how you like your soup. This one does have a little bit of spice to it. So you could serve it up with a bit of salt and pepper, maybe a little bit of sour cream or a cream swirl on there, maybe a little bit of coriander. It's quite nice with that chili flavour, but it really just depends on what you're into. But I'm thrilled to present to you this beautiful bowl of soup and a giant lot. So I've done 1.5 times the recipe because it's for a family dinner. So there is absolutely stacks there. Hope you've enjoyed cooking with Jen. It's been a pleasure to spend some time with you. Hopefully this ticks all the boxes and gives Tess and Frankie a laugh with my Civvy content. Mwah.